Hey guys, Ryan Lowe here with a quick fix for your wobbly throws. I've got new players on my team and they just haven't thrown enough plastic yet to get that wobble out of the disc, and that's really just it's a wrist issue. Our wrists are easily articulated in all kinds of angles, and in regular life it's useful to have all of that mobility in your wrist, but when it comes to throwing a frisbee, you really want to train your wrist to hinge on a much more limited range of motion on your forehand or on your backhand, as well as on your forehand. And you're going to train that range of motion whether you like it or not through experience. Now, if you're like me, you only play once a week and you only get so many throws, maybe 20, 30, 40 throws in your warm-up, and then how many throws do you get during the game? Maybe even fewer than that, especially as a newer player. So what I get my newer players to do is, on the other days of the week, so they've got 6 other days they can do this, and just ramp up how many repetitions they're able to get, I just get them to stand in their backyard or wherever they can grab a little bit of open space. You don't need any space, you don't even need a throwing partner for this, and all you're doing is you're throwing the disc up. So with your backhand grip, you're just throwing the disc up and you're trying to have it not wobble very much when you're throwing it straight up to yourself. And that's going to increase the number of repetitions you're able to get in a very short time. So this is just a game of how many times can I repeat that throw, that motion, so that it doesn't take years for that wobble to go away, but maybe it'll go away in like a week, because you can just do that hundreds of times. You don't have to throw high, you can throw low to yourself and you're trying to create lots of spin on the disc. You can throw it higher, and that's very similar to a backhand throw. Like you're throwing it straight up, but that motion of throwing your straight up backhand is very similar to throwing your horizontal backhand, that lateral pass, except that because the disc is being pulled down by gravity, it's actually a little easier to throw this and have it come out with clean spin on it. That's a little easier because you're only really pulling up on the edge of the disc. Your hand doesn't, when it's vertical like that, you're pulling up on the edge of the disc and you're trying to get it to spin nice and clean that way. And you're just practicing trying to get rid of that wobble that way, versus when you throw horizontally, when you throw flat, your hand is also now responsible for stabilizing the disc against gravity, because gravity wants to pull it down like that. So you're actually pushing up on the disc, which when you throw, that pushing up action that you're subconsciously doing is also going to make it kind of more likely to wobble than if you're just throwing it straight up and down like that. Now, if you want to get ahead of the game, Frisbee players are now at high levels starting to throw with both hands. So they might be lining up, telegraphing that they're going to throw a forehand, and then they throw an offhand backhand. So for me, a right-handed forehand fake turns into a left-handed break side backhand. I don't do that in games. I'm going to work on doing that just because it's a fun thing to add, but that's the type of thing that you could start to develop now by, when you're doing your backyard, getting rid of your wobble disc juggle, you just do that with both hands, and now you're repping out a bunch of throws with both hands. And don't worry if it's wobbly, you're just trying to get a bunch of repetitions, and over time that'll clean up. So those are your backhand, that's your sort of backhand juggling pattern. And then for forehand, because you can't really I guess you could sort of forehand like that, it's not going to help you. Basically just throw it straight up like a blade, straight overhead, and just do a bunch of those and try to have it come out with as little wobble as possible. Throw a little bit gentle and try to have it come out pretty clean on your right hand and on your left. So those two throws, your forehand, your backhand, you're just throwing it straight up in the sky. Don't overthink it. Just throw a ton of them and get used to getting rid of that wobble on the disc. and it replicates getting like hundreds of throws without a throwing partner. I hope that helps. If you want to throw longer throws, go to frisbeethrows.com. I got lots of training there. Otherwise, throw your comments in below. Subscribe for more videos like this, please, and hit that bell if you want notifications. Thanks.